Hello everybody and welcome back. A few weeks ago I received a present that was so surprising and so incredible to me that I want to make a video about it. And the present was this here. This is an Amiga 2000 board, and it is not only the board, but it's a complete Amiga 2000. And when I got it, it was, first of all, in non-working order, and it was built into a tower case, which was something that I've heard of, but I've never really seen before. An Amiga 2000 tower case conversion. And it was just amazing. And it was even more amazing when I found out what this thing was loaded out with. We have an EGS card. We have a SCSI card that can hold a drive. We got the flicker remover, we have an accelerator, and we even have an AT88 card. And the coolest thing about this is most of them have been upgraded with tons of work, and it's done really nicely. And more amazing, within about a week or so, I had it working perfectly. Or perfect as far as I can tell, because I don't have a keyboard. It didn't come with a keyboard, it didn't come with a mouse. I'm going to figure all of that out. And I'm not going to keep the tower case because it is just too big for me. And I wanted to restore its original, well, charm. Let's call it that. So I started out by making a wooden base for the board because I had cleaned it. I had done some work to it, like with so many others. The battery had failed. It had leaked some acid. Fortunately, because it was a tower, the acid didn't flow over the board, but it just dripped down from the battery and it sprayed over the contact areas here. And it was relatively easy to get cleaned up and to get it back booting again. Now, I haven't done a lot of testing with it. It might still be broken, but I don't think so. And so I thought, well, what should I do? And I came to the realization getting a new case for this was financially impossible for me. Or, well, not impossible, but not an option. Because empty cases go on eBay for about $300. And I just wasn't prepared to pay that much. And since this is a restoration, I thought maybe we could do something special with it. And since I was basically recycling this thing, why not make it wood? So I started out making the first few parts, and there were a lot of design decisions that had to go into this. Was it supposed to look like the original? Was it supposed to be exactly like the original? And I went for a so-so. So the first thing that I built was I built a new back for it. And that was basically the first design decision that I made. This is the back. This is where the I/O area from the cards are. Processor card, I/O shield, deinterlacer, and I am going to put a micro ITX or SFX power supply in here that I'm going to convert. And the second part of the back is going to be for a drivetrain. This is just a prototype but this works out really nicely, and it fits perfectly inside the case. So this comes into the case right from the back. Then I started thinking about the front, and I had a couple of design ideas, and they were prototypes, and I wanted to get through and build something that looked cool. So this was my first design. It had very large openings for the air inlet, and it would keep to the original design and be really close to that, but in the end the proportions just weren't quite right. It looked cool, but I couldn't fit the accelerator in here because the drive bay was like 6 millimeters too far on the left, stuff like that. So that was the first prototype of the front board. The second version was a little bit more refined. I went for smaller vents, and I placed the two 3.5-inch bays further to the right. And I was going to go with this until I found out that the I/O cards on the front, they do something that I didn't expect. They're actually longer than the main board by about 9 to 11 millimeters. So that took me kind of by surprise. And after that, I went into a redesign of the front, and I came up with this. This here is the front that I'm going to go with. It has the air inlets, but the air inlets are staggered. So I get another 12 millimeters on the inside. And these are 5 layers of lasered wood, just 3 millimeter plywood, but it looks very much like the original. One extra layer is going to come on top of this one, and it's going to have the logo, it's going to have the writing, and it's going to have the stripe across. And I think this is going to, well, reproduce the slight edge at the front. I've shown pictures to this, pictures of this to people who have an Amiga 2000, and they said that it was very, very similar. Since I don't have access to a real Amiga 2000, I'm just doing this of photographs, and I don't really want it to be 100% copy, because I want to improve some of the stuff as I go. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Now this goes in here and just slots in. In the end, the front and the bottom are going to be glued into as one piece, while the back is screwed on. I also have a very simple drive bay. Let's see if I can get that in there. There we go. So now I can have the 3.5-inch drives at the same position as they were in the original. Same goes for the 5.25-inch drive. I can have 2 disk drives in the drive bays at the back. And I might still rework this piece. I'm not 100% sure that it's going to stay the way it is. But it is it's functional the way it is. All the cards fit perfectly, and they connect right up to the back. The I/O shields and the mask for them I'm still going to do, or I still have to do, because that will be permanently attached while the back comes off. Or maybe I'll change that. I'm not sure about that yet. And so when I put the drives in now, you get a pretty good idea of the looks that the machine is going to have after that. Well, that was a little bit too much force. Normally this would be screwed in the back and it wouldn't come apart. Well, that is just for the sake of this demo. Here we go, first drive, HD drive, and now we have something that very much looks like an Amiga 2000. And I think I can live with this look. I find it very, very interesting. I find it clean, and all the hardware that I have for this device is going to fit in there. Which, well, where should I put it? And I think it's going to be a good box for this. And if it works, it will be even better. The next thing that I have to do is I have to go out, get a small form factor power supply, and I have to convert it to Amiga wiring. I have a power supply that came with the tower. That's already a conversion, and I'm just going to redo that with a smaller power supply. There will be some difficulties involved since the new power supplies have a 3.3 volt rail. I'm going to have to put a passive load on that just to make sure that the thing is working correctly. But I think all of that can be figured out, and it will be the next step. And yeah, I'll keep you posted. I have a very long unboxing video of the tower, where I take the tower apart and I go through all the pieces and I do the first test and bring up. That was recorded over the first 2 weeks that I had the PC, and I'm going to post that next, but I wanted to get this video out so you kind of have an idea what I'm talking about, and I hope you enjoy it. So this is my current project. It employs most of the tools that I have, 3D printer, laser. I don't think there will be any machining involved, but it's my goal to recreate a classic and, well, make it look good. So thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.